Hi, my name is Evan Levy.
And my name is Daniel Correa, and we're the EcoSteward Conservation Technicians at Contra Costa Resource Conservation District. We work to restore habitat for wildlife and improve ecosystem services for the people of Contra Costa County. A grant from the Department of Water Resources jump-started this program to restore and maintain various DWR sites throughout the San Francisco Bay Delta. Our current project tasks include revegetation, invasive weed control, resource, mapping, and data collection. The EcoStewards are also working on other community projects, including marking stormwater drains, installing a pollinator garden at the Richmond Greenway, an environmental education program, and planting trees.
Much of our work occurs in the San Francisco Bay Delta. The Central Valley's two great rivers, the Sacramento and San Joaquin, meet in the delta before flowing out into the bay and ocean. These rivers are essential to California's health. Delta water is the primary source of drinking water for 25 million Californians. The Delta also sustains important fisheries, millions of waterfowl, and thousands of farmers and ranchers producing billions of pounds of food. Even if you've never visited the Delta, your life as a Californian likely relies in some way on the health of this place. The EcoStewards are working to improve the Delta's resiliency to threats like climate change, sea level rise, and habitat degradation. By planting native plants, maintaining existing native plant communities, and removing invasive plant species, the EcoStewards are improving habitat conditions for wildlife in the Delta.
So here we are at the dunes at Dutch Slough, and this is a pretty rare and special ecosystem in Contra Costa County. The Antioch Dunes used to stretch for about 7 miles and they were hundreds of feet high. This is one of the restored sites here in Dutch Slough, and we've got some pretty exciting dune plant species like the naked stem buckwheat and this dunes evening primrose. And so as the EcoStewards, we've been coming out here to maintain this habitat and make sure that we clear up the space so that it's sandy rather than with like non-native grasses on top. This lets the bees and other insects burrow into the sand and also allows space for these native dune-loving plants to colonize and take root. As you can see, over the last 5 years, the Department of Water Resources has done a great job at restoring this dune habitat, and we are here maintaining it at this point.
Here we have the dunes evening primrose. This plant is important because its large flowers provide valuable nectar and pollen for hawk moths and other pollinators. Around it you can see a lot of invasive plant species. In order to increase the primrose's chances of surviving, one of the things we do around here is remove the invasive from around the plant. By removing these invasive plants by hand, we're reducing the competition for resources like nutrients, sunlight, and water. Techniques such as this have helped this plant and other important dune species thrive here at the Dutch Slough.
On a landscape scale, the worst invasive plants can choke out entire ecosystems. In some places, a diverse mosaic of native plants and animals has been replaced by a monoculture of one invasive plant. Much of our time is spent maintaining just a handful of particularly aggressive non-native plants, such as Himalayan Blackberry, pampas grass, and poison hemlock.
Let's tackle some blackberry!
Himalayan Blackberry is a non-native species of blackberry that can grow up to 40 feet tall. It grows in moist soils, disturbed areas, pastures, rangelands, and roadsides. Large areas of blackberries are called brambles and can really take over forests and meadows. Animals eat the tasty berries and transport seeds all around California. The vast underground network of roots makes these plants incredibly difficult to eradicate. Himalayan blackberry can be managed by annually cutting the canes with hedge trimmers, loppers, and weed whackers and removing the dead blackberry to a dry area. Further treatment with herbicides is often necessary.
Pampas grass is another aggressive non-native plant in the Delta. Horticulturists originally brought the grass into the U.S. from South America as an ornamental plant, and it is sold at greenhouses and nurseries. Pampas grass can be identified by its tall, fountain-like shape, bluish, green, and V-shaped leaves. This invasive reproduces by dispersing millions of seeds into the wind. These seeds land in areas far away where the plant is able to rapidly make new colonies. Manual removal of mature pampas grass is next to impossible since it becomes such a large multi-stem plant. One method we use to get rid of pampas grass is to cut it back to the base and then use target herbicides to kill individual plants. Poison hemlock is a common invasive plant that belongs to the carrot family. It is found in pastures, riparian areas, and disturbed soils. Just like its name indicates, poison hemlock contains toxins that can harm or even kill livestock, wildlife, and humans if consumed.
Some invasive plant communities can be managed by mechanical means, such as cutting and digging. However, there are times when invasive plants cover an area that is too big to be managed this way. In these situations, we often use herbicides. Herbicide application is a useful invasive plant management technique. It allows us to eliminate large areas of invasive plants in a short amount of time. By combining mechanical management techniques with smartly applied herbicides, we are able to drastically reduce the amount of chemicals needed to control these invasive plants.
By replanting these areas with native plants after treatment, we're able to outcompete the non-native plant and establish productive ecosystems. Of course, routine maintenance is crucial to ensuring these newly established habitats stay healthy. These restored habitats clean our water, provide habitat for wildlife, and increase the recreational and aesthetic value of places in Contra Costa County.
Thanks for joining us today and have a wonderful Earth Week.